So in our last video, boys and girls, we discussed the types of syllables and we went really deep into the vowel teams. We reviewed predictable vowel teams and we also discussed diphthongs, which have their own special unusual sound, and unpredictable vowel teams, which are the rule breakers. Just to review, there are exactly 6, depending on who you ask, sometimes 7, even 8, types of syllables. Remember, a syllable is the vowel sound in a word. You open your mouth when you make a vowel sound, so a syllable is the part of the word where your mouth comes open. There are short vowel sounds, long vowel sounds, our controlled vowel sounds, and unpredictable vowel sounds, as we learned about in our last video, which was part 7. Today, this video is part 8, and we are going to go back and visit a syllable type that we did not yet really dive deep into and discuss, and that is syllable type number 4, the R-controlled vowel sound, which is also called the Bossy R pattern, or sometimes the Vowel+r. Just to review all the different types of syllables there are, we have closed syllables, one vowel followed by one or more consonants, and the vowel is short. Notice how the A is the vowel in map, and it's closed in by the P, making it short and closed. Map. At, the A is closed in by the T. Flip, the I is closed in by the P. Chick, there's one vowel, letter I, point to it, good, and it's closed in by the digraph, CK. Also short vowel sound, chick. And the last one, point to the vowel or vowel. Do I have one vowel? Yes. Is it followed by one or more consonants? Yes. It's closed. The NG digraph closes in the O, making it closed and short. Short O says, that's right, ah, and the word is song. Good. Closed is our most common and popular type of syllable in the English language, making up nearly half of the words that we speak, read, or write. So super important, and it's the only syllable out of all of these types that have a short vowel sound. The next syllable we discussed in our part 3 video was open syllables, or maybe it was part 4. I don't know, but open syllables are words or syllables that have only one single vowel, making it a long vowel pattern. Oftentimes they get a little tricky because sometimes you see words that have an open syllable right up against a closed syllable. Or you have two open syllables making a two-syllable word, like a go, like once upon a time, a long time ago. A and go are both open syllables. Okay, right here's go. So open syllables are one single vowel ending a word or a syllable. If you do see an open syllable inside of a one consonant word like I, go, she, he, or my, it is oftentimes what we call a high frequency sight word. Those tricky words that you either see all the time and you just have to know it on sight, or they could be words that are a little bit tricky to spell. Okay, so these are all examples of an open syllable because they all end with only one single vowel, and that vowel sound is long. The third type of syllable we discussed was the consonant or vowel consonant E, otherwise known as magic E or silent sneaky E. And this is when words have the pattern of one vowel, like this A, followed by only one consonant, followed by a silent E. The E does not make a sound, it says nothing, so there's no sound for this. Its only job is to jump over the consonant and attack that first vowel, make it say its name. So in this word, the A would say, what's his name? A! And the whole word is 8. Good. Most of the time, about like 3 out of 4 times that you see a vowel consonant E or a silent sneaky E word in a book or a sentence, it's going to have a long vowel sound, like the A in 8, or the A in face, or the I in, read it with me, like, or Pete, or graze. All of these words have one vowel followed by one consonant followed by a silent sneaky E. See? Vowel, consonant, E. Vowel, consonant, E. Anyway, our fourth syllable type, which we are going to discuss a little bit later in the video in like 2 minutes, is syllable type 4, R controlled, which is also called Bossy R or Vowel+r, because the R sort of controls what the vowel says. The spelling pattern is pretty easy. It's one of our vowels, either A, E, I, O, U, followed by the letter R, like the IR in bird, or the AR in car, or the UR in hurt, or the ER in her, or even the OR in for. Our fifth syllable type is vowel teams, which we discussed in an earlier video. We sort of jumped ahead to that. Vowel teams are when you see two double vowels, or twin vowels, I like to call them, standing side by side, right next to each other, inside of a word, or at the end of a word, if you're talking about a word like pie. Okay, sometimes, depending on which reading program or curriculum you're using, vowel teams are separated into 2 or 3 different syllable types. Most of the time, they are 2 vowels side by side, but they have different sounds. So some curriculums teach each of the vowel teams as their own separate syllable types. If I did that, there would be syllable type 5, 6, 7, even 8 different syllables. Okay, but I sort of consider all 3 of these little subgroups or smaller groups part of the vowel team syllable, because they still have the pattern of 2 vowels going walking side by side, doubles, twins next to each other in a word. Okay, I'll show you what I mean. The first type of vowel team are the predictable long vowel teams. Predictable vowel teams follow the rules of 2 vowels go walking, the first one does the talking, and it says its name. Like the letters E. It's a vowel team in this word. When 2 vowels are walking, the first one does the talking, and it says its name. E, and this word is meat. Just like the EA vowel team in dream, or the IE in pie, or the UI in fruit. Then we discussed the other 2 vowel teams. Unpredictable vowel teams, which do not follow the 2 vowels go walking rule, such as the EA pattern in bread. Instead of saying EA would say eh, or the AI you see in the sight word set. Oftentimes, unpredictable vowel teams are the irregular heart patterns you would find in your heart words or your high-frequency sight words. And the last of the vowel teams we discussed in our last video were the diphthongs, which make their own special, unique, unusual sound, like the ouch sound, OU or OW, that says ow, or the letters in love sound that say aw, like AU and AW, or the oo or the sound that OO can make. And our final and 6th type of syllable, which we will be discussing in our last of all the syllable type video series videos, is the consonant LE. For now, we are going to focus on the 4th syllable type, this orange one here, called the R controlled syllable, or the Bossy R. Meet our 4th syllable type, the R controlled syllable, or the Bossy R. Bossy R syllables are a special type of syllable because they do not have either long or short vowel sounds. So there's no a, I, and there's no a, e, I, o, u, or oo sounds. Instead, the consonant R controls what the vowel says because of the way your mouth moves when you make the sounds. So Bossy R, or sometimes called the Vowel+r patterns, they have their own unique sound because the R is a boss. He likes to control everything the vowel does. So R bosses the vowel around and controls its sound. There are three major R-controlled or Bossy R sounds that are made in a Bossy R syllable pattern. Most of the time, these three major sounds have the same spellings. Sorry, went a little too far ahead. The first sound that a Bossy R syllable makes is R. I call this the bad driver sound. And the spelling patterns that most often make the R sound are IR, where you have one vowel I, followed by the letter R, ER, or UR. The second sound is R, most often spelled AR. I call this the pirate pattern because this Bossy R pattern, AR, when those two letters get together, they like to say R. They make the sound of a pirate. Sometimes we see R spelled AR with a silent E at the end, which would also still be considered the pirate Bossy R pattern, R, because the R controls the sound of the A. And the third sound a Bossy R pattern can make is OR. The OR pattern is the pattern that cannot make up its mind. I'll show you a little bit more in just a moment. Let's visit the bad drivers first. ER, IR, and UR. These three patterns, ER, IR, and UR, are the Bossy R syllable patterns that we call the bad drivers. They're the bad drivers because these letters love to drive race cars really fast. And when they have to stop or go around the turn, they slam on their brakes and they say, like the ER in her, or the UR in turn, or the IR in bird. So these are our first three Bossy R patterns. They say, what do they say? That's right. Our next Bossy R pattern is the Bossy R pirate pattern, AR, that says R. That's right, AR. These two letters, love to get together and play pirates. So when you see these two letters, AR, standing together in a word, they make their pirate sound, R. Make that sound with me, R. Good. And the third sound that the Bossy R letters make, OR or OR. The Bossy R letters that cannot make up their minds. OR, OR. Say that sound with me, OR. OR. These two letters can never make up their minds about anything, like what they want to do, what they want to eat, what color they like the best. They are always saying OR. We could eat ice cream or cake or chips or. So when you see these two letters OR standing side by side right next to each other in a word, they're going to say OR because they can't make up their mind. So here are some examples of the Bossy R or the R-controlled syllable. Let's start with the bad drivers. What did they say? Good. IR. You see the pattern IR in the words bird, shirt, skirt. The ER pattern, which also says because it's a bad driver, it slams on its brakes, makes that sound. We see in the words like her, term, never. There it's an ending. And UR, which also says like in turn, curl, and surf. The R, or the pirate pattern, is the Bossy AR, which says R, like in car, star, farm, barn, and card. And the last pattern, the Bossy OR, that cannot make up its mind, or, is found in words such as for, Lord, corn, and more.